The sectors which are voicing concerns now seem to be the smartphones and wearables and the electronics industry, where India now charges a 16.5% duty on electronic components. Now, India is expected to export about $8 billion worth of iPhones to the US this year. And we are also seeing what we are referring to as Apple's Ghar Wapsi with a US investment of $500 million. So for India's electronics market, which is one of the only sort of success stories we've seen in recent times when it comes to manufacturing and making in India, is that likely to get impacted, to your opinion, sir?
Kartik, let's understand this in a cool fashion, because certain point of views are being emanated by vested interest. Here we have to understand. So iPhone, US doesn't make iPhone. Apple owns the IPR and they get half the money. So $1,000 worth of an Apple iPhone piece, it gets more than $450. That's fine. Okay, but it doesn't assemble. Assembling is done in China and now in India in a bigger way. Okay, so suppose they are imposing tariffs of 20% on China. More and more assembly operations are likely to be shifting to India. So India should gain. Now you talk about, and US will have nothing to do because exports from India. So suppose $1,000 piece of iPhone exported to US, $450 Apple gets. What India gets? India gets less than $30 of this. So US should have no worries on the iPhone account. Now you talk about the components. US doesn't make component. They should not worry about the component.
All right.
Component, we have about more than 20 electronic associations which deal with all these issues.
Right.
One or two associations, they don't miss any opportunity to force the government, to push the government to cut tariffs on the components. Be it any budget, they will say cut duties on the component. Government does also, but that harms our fast developing component ecosystem. For example, we in the past 5 years since the implementation of the PLI scheme, as you rightly mentioned, the export data, it's more than $16 billion. And we have hundreds of firms who are making parts of the mobile phone components. If we keep on cutting component tariffs every year, then that component system, which is in nascent stage, weak stage, it will get destroyed. Our aim should be to strengthen that ecosystem. And one more reason for doing this is, it's the most successful policy, as you rightly said. It's the most successful PLI scheme. Our production of a smartphone has gone from nearly 5 years back to $50 billion domestic production. So that means policies at whatever level, whatever tariffs, they are working very fine. And here there is absolutely no angle there is no US angle. US cannot assemble a smartphone. Their labor charges are very high. Right. And if China's tariffs are higher than India's tariffs, we will discover on 2nd April, more and more assembly of iPhone is likely to be shifting to India. We should just quietly enjoy for this sector without disturbing the policy parameters.
All right, good.